And let's go for it.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name's Chris Cox. I'm with ADP. I'm going to do a quick review of you guys' new 401k plan with ADP. I'm going to kind of tell you what it is, how it works, what you got to do, what you don't got to do, and then I'm going to spend some time on how you're going to enroll for the plan to get started. And then I'll show you a quick little demo of our website. So when you guys are up and running, how do you make changes and whatnot? If you got a question through this thing, just interrupt me and ask a question. You're not going to offend me or anything. Just go ahead and ask a question there. All right? Unless you're one of the honorary people, then wait till the end. All right? So, what's a 401k? What's the big deal about these things?
Can you zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little better over the web meeting? Just a touch.
The speed limit is 25 miles per hour.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, what's the 401k big deal about these things is when we get done working, we're no longer going to have our salary paychecks to rely on. So we got to start saving money while we can so that when we get done working, we have like a bank for ourselves to be able to replace that income with. The kicker of these things are if we don't put anything into it, there's nothing to take out later on down the road. And then we got Social Security, which I'm not the doomsayer that says Social Security is going to blow up, but it's only good for about a third of our paycheck right now. So if you get done working, 2/3 of your income are gone, you haven't saved up anything, you either got to keep working because you got to keep the lights on, or you got to try to squeeze all your bills into whatever the government decides to give you. So it's really important during these working years while you're healthy and got that steady paycheck, put some money away for yourself. The 401ks work well because it gives us some benefits. Is we get some tax breaks from Uncle Sam. Okay, it's easy. It comes out of your payroll. You don't have to write a check or make a deposit. And last, this is your money. The company does not use this money to pay its bills. If the company was to go under, your money's not lost to you. This money is held in trust for the benefit of you. You leave employment, you take this money with you. So to participate into the plan, you have to be 21 years old and have worked here at least a year. Inside that year constitutes 1,000 hours. So as long as you meet those criteria, you can participate into the plan. You can save as little as 1% of your paycheck all the way to 90% of your paycheck. I've yet to see anyone do 90, but if you want to, go right ahead. As long as you don't go above $19,000 for the year. If you're over 850, you can go up to $25,000 for the year. So bottom line with this, you can save as little, as much, whatever fits your budget, whatever fits your strategy. That's up to you. You can change this whenever. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. You don't have to wait for a life event. You can increase your savings, decrease it, stop it, restart it anytime throughout the year, however many times throughout the year. All right? That is up to you. You have two, the company has what's called a discretionary match. I will leave that up to the company to explain if they're going to be doing any type of matching program or not, but the door is open for it. You have two types of tax breaks. You have a pre-tax or a traditional 401k, and you have a Roth. I'm going to speak traditional first. So like I said, this is pre-tax, which means any money that you save today, you do not have to pay taxes on today. So let's say I made $35,000 this year. I put $5,000 in my 401k plan. When I go to do my taxes that year, I only got to pay taxes on $30,000. He doesn't count that $5,000 I put in my 401k. So what that does, it keeps my income looking low that year. It keeps me in a lower tax bracket. Hopefully it will boost up the refund at the end of the year. But in retirement, when I turn 59 and a half and I start to take that money out to pay my bills and whatnot, that's when I square up with Uncle Sam on the taxes. So I'm deferring paying taxes today. I pay them later on down the road. The theory being is I'm going to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement than I would be in my working years. So you defer paying today, pay them tomorrow. Hopefully you get in a lower tax bracket. The Roth works the reverse. Roth will say, Uncle Sam, here's your tax money today, we're square. So if you make $35,000 and you put $5,000 in your Roth 401k plan, you're still paying taxes on the full $35,000 that year. But as soon as that $5,000 hits your account, all the growth that happens from there on in when you retire, that money comes back to you tax-free. So if that $5,000 grew to $15,000 by the time I hit retirement, that $10,000 of growth would be all tax-free to me. Okay? So you can do one or the other, or you can split it and do both. I could put 2% of my paycheck into the traditional, 2% into the Roth. That's up to you. All right. Any questions on contributions or the tax break? All right. Last part to really a 401k, and this is the hardest part, is the investment side of things. Okay. So we use mutual funds for this. Mutual funds is the stock market. We ever watch the news, we know the stock markets are going up and down, up and down. All right, the reason that we're using mutual funds, we're trying to combat a particular nasty number out there called inflation. Inflation is the cost of milk that keeps going up on us. So if we have $100 and we go to Walmart, we can get ourselves $100 worth of groceries and bring them home to us. But if we put that $100 into a coffee can, 25 years down the road, we can go back to our coffee can. That $100 is still there. So milk's no longer $2 a gallon. Now it's $6. We can't buy the same amount of groceries as we once could have. So we have to grow that money. That way, when we go back to that coffee can, we're taking out $150 to buy that same amount of groceries. The market historically has been able to outpace inflation over the long run. That's why we tend to lean towards it when dealing with retirement accounts. So when you're dealing with investments, I equate this to two types of people. You're either a hands-on investor or you're a hands-off. The hands-on people, they're the kind of people who like to pick and choose their own portfolios. They build it, they customize it, they understand the markets, they do their own research. If that is you, you have all the asset classes here. You can build it, change it, customize it however you like. All the research is online. You have Morningstar reports, performance data, all that for you to use to help build your own portfolio. The other half of the coin are the hands-off people. Not particularly thrilled about building their own portfolios, got 2 kids, a spouse, 50-hour work week. They are not going home researching mutual funds. For those people, inside this middle column here, you see a group of funds called the Vanguard Target Retirement, and then you see a year, 2015, 2020, 25, so on. These are what are called target date funds. It's a pre-built portfolio. You don't build it, you don't customize it. It's already been done for you. It's your job to pick the year closest to when you think you're going to retire. One way to do that, take your year of birth, 19 whatever, add 65. It's going to give you a year. Once you have that year, find the fund that's closest to that year, and you're done. So if someone was born 1976, we add 65 to that, that puts them 2041, they would use the 2040 fund. That's the one closest to their year. The further it is from the year 2040, the more aggressive your portfolio is. Because you're young, you don't need that money time soon, you need it to grow. But the older someone gets and the closer they get to that year, the portfolio will automatically become more conservative. All right, so you don't need to adjust it or change it, it gets done for you. Is it perfect? No, it's still the market, it's still gonna go up and down as the markets go up and down. Nothing we can do about that, but it's a strategy you can use. You don't need to know every ins and outs of a mutual fund to get in. Just find your target date year. Another strategy you can use with the target date fund, if you want to be more aggressive, so let's say in my example, that 1976 person, it was 2040, that person could use the 2050 fund if they wanted to, or the 2060. It just thinks that they are 10 years or 20 years older, which makes it more aggressive. Or vice versa, that 2040 person could use the 2030 or 2020. And then the fund thinks they're 10 years older, 10, 20 years older, and makes it more conservative. So you can adjust your risk tolerance by pushing the years out further out or bringing them in closer to you to make it either more aggressive or more conservative. But your baseline will be date of birth plus 65. Any questions on that? That's it. That's all there's to 401k part. You choose your contribution rate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6%. Don't kill the budget, but put some money away for yourself. You choose your tax break, traditional, Roth, or do both. That's up to you. Are you a hands-on or are you a hands-off investor? You answer those 3 questions, you get into a 401k plan. Doesn't have to be any harder than that, all right? And you can always make changes to this at any time. There's no, like I said, no open enrollment periods or anything like that. Any questions on that part of the presentation? Okay, I'm going to show you the website first, and then I'll show you how you can enroll into the plan. So the very last page of the booklet that Cliff will be sending you has our website and our phone number for you to call if you got questions. You guys are ADP payroll. I'm assuming everyone has an ADP user ID and password. If you don't, I would recommend going through the process of getting that user ID and password, because that's kind of like the key to the kingdom with this. Once you have that user ID and password, if you log into your payroll portal, you will see underneath the My Self tab, Benefits, Retirement Savings, and it's a bridge from the payroll portal to the 401k website. So you don't have to log out and log back in. You can just take the bridge over to the website itself. Or if you want to go directly to the website, you can go to mykplan.com, put in the same user ID and password, and then you'll be able to log into your 401k from there. Once you sign in, you will see a website that looks similar to this. You'll see your balance. You'll see how much you're saving. Retirement calculator, I'll go over that in just a moment. You'll see performance. You'll see recent activity, and then your investment. Left-hand side, you'll see these little tiles. You just got to put your cursor over each of the tiles to go over what options you have available. Number one thing everyone should do when you enroll into the 401k is go to the My Account tab, and then you're going to go to Manage Your Beneficiaries once you're live. This is in case something happens to you, who gets your money. Do not let the courts and the lawyers decide this. You make that decision. A couple rules to this, though. If you're married, your spouse has to be 100% primary beneficiary. If you do not want your spouse to be 100% primary, you have to get them to sign a waiver and get it notarized. Good luck. Let me know how that worked out for you. All right. Also, make sure you have secondary beneficiaries for you. In case something happens both you and your spouse at the same time, go to your kids, mom and dad, brother, sister. You can name a charity, name a trust. Just don't leave it blank. Once you get here, if you have already listed someone as a beneficiary, you can update that person or you can delete that person. Delete is handy if you get divorced. Make sure you keep this up to date on there, especially if you get remarried. All right. You want to add someone new, click Add New Beneficiary, select primary or secondary, and then fill in the information. Hit Continue. A Save button will light up. Click the Save button to lock in all your decisions. All right. So you can update this at any time and have access to it whenever you need to. Again, it's underneath the My Account tab, Manage Your Beneficiary. Underneath the Contributions tab, if you wanted to change how much you wanted to save, you can just click Change My Contribution Amount. It will tell you what you're currently doing on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you use these drop-down boxes to select your new rate, hit Submit, you're done. You don't have to go to HR, you don't have to go to payroll, you don't have to fill out any forms. This information will flow to your payroll and update your paycheck. Okay? So again, at your control, whenever you need to do it, you are able to. Investment tab will give you your investment information and make those changes. Loans and withdrawals, if you want to figure out if you need to get to your money, what those rules are. Plan information will give you the highlights that we kind of went over. How old do I got to be to get in? What's the max that I can put in? All that information there. And then this last tab here called Financial Wellness. This is kind of part of the 401k website that has nothing to do with 401k. This is kind of everything else in our lives. This might be, what's the difference between term life and whole life insurance? What's a 529 plan? How do you save money for college? How much money are you going to need for college? Maybe I'm getting close to retirement. What's the difference between Medicare A, B, C, and D? How does Social Security work? What's a will? How do you set up a will? So it has all that information there for you to be able to kind of go through. There's calculators, tutorials, articles, all there for you to use to kind of learn this financial world that we live in. We separated it into categories for you to kind of decide where you want to go. Like you click on Home and Family, buying your first home, budgeting for a baby, how to finance a wedding. So again, all kinds of different things for you to use. A life insurance calculator, college planner calculator. So I would highly recommend checking that out and learning a little bit more about this financial world we live in. If ever you get lost in the 401k website, if you click on the overview button, it'll bring you right back to the main page. Now from here, you see this thing here called the retirement calculator. So give me a second here. You won't have to do what I'm doing right now by setting this up. Since we're your payroll company, we already have this information. This will be preloaded for you. But since this is a demo, I'm going to make some changes to show you how this works here. All right. So when you click on the retirement calculator, this is going to tell you about how much money you're going to have by the time you get retirement age. This blue right here is saying how much money you're going to have to take out to offset the salary that you once were making. The red, you've done run out of money. That's a good number to know. So I know mom and dad live to age 90, grandma and grandpa live to age 90, but my money runs out at age 70, I might have a problem. So it's a lot easier to solve that problem when you're 25, 35, 45, 55, than when you're age 67, 68, getting retired, figuring out you don't got enough money. So from here, I can make some changes. All right, I'm saving 4% now. What happens if I bump that up to 6%? And you'll see your graph change. Maybe I can't retire at age 64. Maybe I need to bump that up to 68. Okay. You can add Social Security into there. If you don't know what your Social Security is, you can go to the government website, ssa.gov, and register yourself to be able to find your 401k website, or to find your Social Security amount. You can put other retirements. If your spouse has a retirement account, you can change your annual rate of returns, all that to be able to see how that might affect your retirement account. It's a really handy tool. Keep track of what you're doing, where you're projected to be at, so you can make some good changes. Again, that's on the main page called the retirement calculator here. Also, you will have access to our mobile app. It's called ADP Mobile. All right, with that mobile app, you'd be able to see your balance, see your 401k. You can make changes to your deferral, your contributions, your future investments. We will be adding some features where you can, you need to take a loan out, you can do that through the mobile app. Beneficiaries right now can only be added to the website. However, there's an update coming up, I think it's going to be in February or March, that will add beneficiaries to your mobile app as well. So you should be able to have plenty of capability to see your information right from your mobile app. It will use the same user ID and password that you've already set up through ADP. So everything on ADP uses the same set of credentials. All right. Any questions on the technology there? Okay. So how to enroll. So Cliff will be sending out this enrollment instruction right here. So I'm going to try to show you a quick demo on this. Once you go to this website, mykplan.com/enroll, you'll hit the Get Started button. And it's going to ask you for two pieces of information. It's going to ask you for your plan number, which is 271225, and then this passcode. You got two of them, one for January and one for February. I'm just going to put that in there and then go from there. Hit next. It'll ask you if you want to enroll. You do. Next, you'll be putting in a date of birth. Hit next. Next screen tells you how much you want to save. So the left-hand side is your traditional tax break. Right-hand side is your raw. Use the minus and the plus sign to set whatever rate you would like it to be. Make sure that you combine the two on that. So if you were just wanting to do straight raw, you got to bring this back down to 0 and bring this up to whatever you want it to be. So make sure you combine both of those in there. Once you're satisfied with what you want to contribute, hit next again. The computer will automatically calculate your target date fund for you. So if you're good with this, if you're that hands-off person, you can hit next from here. If you are still going to go with the hands-off method, you can hit next from this point on too. If you are the hands-on person and you want to build it yourself, this is where you'll go to select your funds. Just make sure everything equals 100%.
Because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when
if you hit next, it will confirm your selections. Hit next one more time. Put in your name, email address, social security number. Check this box that says you've read this acknowledgement, which says we can take money out of your paycheck. And then you click finish, and you're done. Should take about a minute or two to get enrolled into the plan. All right, it's super fast and easy. Get in, get taken care of on that. All right. Couple things with enrollment. There is no open enrollment period. As long as you're eligible, you can enroll at any time. Okay, so if you're not going to enroll now, you can enroll a month from now or 2 months from now. That's up to you. If you get to that part where you want to enroll later on in the year, you don't need this passcode system that we're working with now. You just log into your 401k either through the website or through your mobile app, and you can enroll from there. We're using the passcode system right now because you guys aren't live just yet. We need to wait for you. So we use this passcode system to enroll people while the website is not up and running just yet. Okay? What questions do we have?
I have a question.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Steve and Millie, and maybe this is for Cliff and Greg, but if we intend to max out our annual contribution and in 2019, I think that's $19,000. Cliff, are you guys going to be able to see at the end of the year as we're approaching that limit and you're going to cut us off automatically, or do we need to watch it ourselves?
We don't do that. The ADP does it automatically.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's a quick thing with that. Let's say you're doing $800 a pay, and let's say in December you only have like $200 left to go before you max out. It will take the whole $800 and then you'll get a $600 refund at the end of the year. But then no more paychecks will come out for that year for you. So just FYI, it'll refund whatever difference it is once you hit that max limit, and then no more paychecks come out.
Who will refund it? Will it be ADP or?
Yeah, you'll get it refunded back to you through ADP. It'll say you've contributed too much for the year. Here's your check. Here's your money back. Anything
Did that
else?
answer your question, Steve?
Yep, it sure does. Thank you.
Brad, Vern, you guys have never been this quiet during a meeting.
Hey, we're just trying to keep from coughing on people.
I understand.
Quick question though. The advantage of this method versus doing something external, if you were so motivated to do it, what are you gain going this way?
So the big advantage is you can put so much more into a 401k than what you could maybe like a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. I believe the IRA limits right now are $6,000, maybe $5,500, $6,000 for the year, compared to $19,000 through your 401k. You also, especially on the Roth side, if you're trying to do a Roth IRA outside of this, you might run into income levels that if you make too much money, it precludes you from putting money into a Roth IRA. Those income rules do not apply to a Roth 401k, meaning you can make whatever it is and still contribute to the Roth side of things on that. There are some downsides. The downside is with the 401k, you're limited to the investment selections that are inside your 401k menu. All right, compared to if you go into an IRA outside, you have the whole universe to go with to be able to make those selections. Also, I would tell you 401ks, it might be a little bit cheaper to do your own the investments through the 401k than maybe trying to buying it on the street through your brokerage firm. So there's some pros and cons to it.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
I have one other question.
Sure.
This is Steve again. When can we start?
So you can enroll now. You can enroll now, and it will happen on the next available paycheck. We're trying to get people enrolled into the plan. It's set up on our system, but we need to get people into the plan so we can run a payroll with someone enrolled into the 401k. Once that happens, then the website will open up, and then people can log in and see their 401k to the actual website itself.
Yeah,
You
Steve,
can
I
enroll through this
expect,
method
I'm
now.
going to send up, I'm going to send out all the documentation tonight after this meeting. So you'll be able to enroll today. That means it'll come out on the payroll next Friday, which will be the 18th. So it becomes effective the 18th.
Excellent. Thank you.
Tom?
Yeah, okay. So with the Roth versus traditional, obviously that depends on your expected tax brackets and all, but if you make that selection up front and then you're in a different bracket at the end of the year, is there any way to manipulate that by switching it back to the other one?
No. So once the money has hit that particular pot, if you will, it stays there. So there's no switching it from, okay, the Roth really didn't give me the benefit, let's move it to traditional on that. Now you could move current or future money going forward and say, okay, I don't want to contribute anymore to the Roth. I'd just much rather do traditional.
So
but
there's no
once
back
that
door or
money hits
anything?
that section, it's in. I'm sorry?
Like there's no backdoor IRA stuff? Like with that?
No.
No?
Excuse me, this is Vernon. So to follow up on that question, I can understand that there's no way to reasonably convert a Roth back to a regular 401k, but is there a way to convert a 401k into a Roth after the fact, or no?
So not at this point. That could be coming where what they're going to do is called a 401k conversion to Roth. The IRS has set some guidelines to it, but 401k companies are a little bit slow because the rules aren't quite clear. You see that a lot more often on the IRA side. You can do an IRA conversion from a traditional IRA to a Roth, where you just pay the taxes on your balance and then the accounts become a Roth side of things. So I would say no right now to 401ks, but I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't show up later on once people get a little bit more clear on what the IRSs want to do with how 401ks, Roth conversions are dealt with.
All right. All right. Any other questions?
Well, guys,
all right.
I was just going to say, Cliff, if any of your people do have questions afterwards, they are more than welcome to email me, call me. I'm happy to answer anyone's questions on that.
All right. Christopher, I want to thank you for your time. Everybody else, I hope you're excited about this. For everybody who did not join, I will post it on and send out the link later on tonight also. All right. So thank you all for your time, and we'll be talking. All right. Christopher, thank you very, very much.
It was my pleasure, guys. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think it was because her biological mom, when she was in Jamaica, she died at a very young age.